Those who survived did so by developing their ingenuity and patience to the extreme human limits. One of their secret weapons, since Dien Bien Phu, the venerable bicycle, is now being pressed into the service of reconstruction. Each one is designed to carry half a ton of supplies for up to 500 miles. And when the American bombers had gone, the paddies would come alive with small groups of mostly women and children who swam pontoons into place to keep the convoys moving south, then dismantled them and hid them before sunrise. All life went underground, whole factories, schools, hospital wards and operating theaters. The same ingenuity and determination exist today, but I suspect these will not be enough to rebuild their country, and unless Vietnam gets the technology she now craves, irrigation schemes such as this will be all for nothing. To the west is the Ho Chi Minh Trail, a road to victory they called it, though victory is a word not much heard in North Vietnam today, as its memory is chastened by an unexpectedly brutal normality. In the villages from here to the mountains, people are now living on the brink of famine. Rice is being rationed to just 6 pounds per person per month. That's less than even Bangladesh. The reason stems from 2 crop failures and the sudden grafting of the alien economies of the North and South. The Vietnamese reckon that unless 10 million people are moved from the cities back to the countryside, the normality of Vietnam will simply change from one of war to starvation. This is Route 1, running south from Hanoi to Saigon. That was known in wartime as the Street of No Joy. It was a nickname shared with equal good reason by the guerrillas who depended on its convoys and by the American pilots who blitzed it. And this river marks the 17th parallel, which divided North and South Vietnam. The line was arbitrary and was set by the Geneva Conference on Indochina in 1954, when the then U.S. Secretary of State, John Foster Dulles, the high priest of the Cold War, decreed that communism was to stop here, and his client state in Saigon was to be preserved at all costs. For a decade, thousands of U.S. Marines dug in the demilitarized zone just south of here, with orders not to go an inch forward. In 1967, I flew here and spent some time with them, and the helicopter that brought me was blown up in the mud as it tried to take off again. Such were the appalling conditions of war. 6 months of mud, 6 months of dust.